everybody.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Good afternoon. Good morning, depending where you're at.
Good morning, everyone.
Sorry about that.
My name is Michele Davis, Assistant Director in Charge of FBI Los Angeles. I'm going to announce our speakers in order. It will be First Assistant United States Attorney Bill Asaley, myself, then Chief of Police Jim McDonald, Sheriff Robert Luna, and then Chief of Police for Palm Springs Police Department. So without further, I'm going to turn over to the United States Attorney.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Bill Asaley. I'm the head of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California. Over the weekend, my office, along with the FBI, arrested members of a far-left, anti-government domestic terror cell who self-identify as the Turtle Island Liberation Front.
What the hell is that? Turtle Island? Is that where the 4 arrests were made?
The individuals were arrested on Friday, December 12th, when the group attempted to construct and detonate IEDs out in the desert. In addition to the arrests, we executed several search warrants throughout the nation. I want to thank our partners at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Louisiana, U.S. Attorney Zach Keller, and the U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Lee Foley, for providing valuable assistance over the weekend with a very complex and coordinated search warrants that were done. The charges we are announcing today stem from the defendants and their co-conspirators' detailed, coordinated plot to bomb multiple U.S. companies on New Year's Eve. Thankfully, that plot has now been foiled thanks to the hard work of the FBI and the Department of Justice. This investigation was initiated in part due to the September 2025 executive order signed by President Trump to root out left-wing domestic terror organizations in our country, such as Antifa and other radical groups like the Turtle Island Liberation Front. As the president made clear, recent attacks across the country have highlighted the grave threats posed by these far-left domestic terror groups. These threats are sophisticated, organized campaigns of targeted intimidation, radicalization, threats, and violence designed to silence opposing speech, limit political activity, and direct policy outcomes and prevent the proper functioning of a democratic society. In direct response to the President's order, the Attorney General issued a memo to our offices implementing and mobilizing federal law enforcement to prioritize and counter domestic terrorism and political violence investigations. As a result of those directives, we built this case. Both my office and the FBI have invested substantial resources into investigating and charging these organizations. And if anyone does not believe that members of these groups are organized, sophisticated, and extremely violent, let me tell you about the plot in this case. The 4 defendants are Audrey Carroll, 30 years old. The pictures, I think we have them somewhere. We'll put them up here. Audrey Carroll, 30 years old. Zachary Aaron Page, 32. Dante Gaffield, 24, and Tina Lay, 41, each from the Los Angeles area. Each is charged with conspiracy and possession of an unregistered destructive device in violation of Title 26, United States Code Section 5861D. We intend to file additional charges in the coming weeks as we finish reviewing the evidence. The defendants are all radical anti-government members of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, which, according to their own social media, is an anti-capitalist, anti-government movement that calls for their associates to rise up and fight back against capitalism. One of the leaders of the organization, defendant Audrey Carroll, helped organize an even more radical faction of the group called the Order of the Black Lotus. Each of the defendants charged today was also a member of the Order of the Black Lotus. Carroll described this group to her co-conspirators as everything radical. As detailed in the federal complaint, which we will now make public, in November 2025, defendant Carroll created a detailed bombing plot to use explosive devices to attack 5 or more locations across Southern California on this upcoming New Year's Eve. Carroll and her co-defendant, Zachary Page, led the effort to obtain and build the bombs and to recruit others to join in their plot. Carroll's bomb plot was explicit. It included a step-by-step instructions to build IEDs or improvised explosive devices and listed multiple targets across Orange County and Los Angeles. Carol also made clear her desires. She said, quote, "What we are doing will be considered a terrorist act." Carol and Page also discussed plans for follow-up attacks after their bombings, which included plans to target ICE agents and vehicles with pipe bombs.
Wow, dude.
Carol stated that those plans would, quote, "take some of them out and scare the rest." Throughout early December, the co-conspirators discussed their plans during an in-person meeting in Los Angeles and through an encrypted messaging application. As part of the plan, the 4 defendants planned to build test bombs in the Mojave Desert. You're going to hear more details about the bombs they intended to build and how the operation went down in the desert here shortly from the FBI Assistant Director in charge. In preparation for the plan, the co-conspirators purchased multiple pieces of bomb-making materials and discussed their travel plans to the desert. Last Friday, December 12th, the defendants took a significant step to carry out their plans. They traveled to the remote campsite, which you're going to see some video of, in the desert, and they began unloading their bomb-making materials to assemble and test the bombs. They had everything they needed to make an operational bomb at that location, and they were subsequently arrested by the FBI before they could build a functional explosive device. Shortly after the defendants were taken into custody, the FBI executed multiple search warrants, including at the defendants' Southern California residence and other locations throughout the country. I'll highlight some of the items found during those searches over the weekend. For example, in Carol's residence, law enforcement found multiple posters and materials associated with Turtle Island Liberation Front, including posters stating, quote, "Death to America, long live Turtle Island and Palestine."
Long live
and, quote,
Turtle Island.
"Death to ICE, Turtle Island Liberation Front." In Page's residence, law enforcement found a copy of the detailed bomb attack plan. This case is another reminder about the dangers that radicalized Antifa-like groups pose to public safety and the rule of law. Through the tireless work of our prosecutors in my office and our law enforcement partners, which you will hear from today, we disrupted this terror plot before buildings were demolished or innocent people were killed. But this is not the end of our work. My office is committed to extinguishing the far-left terror threats that we face, and will continue to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The 4 defendants arrested will make their initial appearance this afternoon at the federal court in downtown Los Angeles. They are each considered innocent until proven guilty. I will now turn it over to the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI LA office, Akil Davis.
Good morning. Again, my name is Akil Davis. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Division. As we're all aware, we've had a busy weekend in this country and abroad with bad news incidents one after another. Today, we are announcing a major victory in our collective effort to protect the American people. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force intercepted a scheme by members of a violent extremist group we believe determined to detonate explosives at multiple businesses on New Year's Eve. Last Friday, the FBI arrested 4 of those subjects near 29 Palms in San Bernardino County while they planned and rehearsed their attack. The 4 subjects are members of a radical faction of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, TILF, a violent, homegrown anti-government group. The subject arrested envisioned planting backpacks with improvised explosive devices to be detonated at multiple locations in Southern California, targeting U.S. companies. These bombs were to blow up at the same time on midnight this New Year's Eve.
Wow.
The plan stated that the IEDs would be complex pipe bombs. It included instructions on how to manufacture the bombs and contained guidance on how to avoid leaving evidence behind that could be traced back to them. Our investigation uncovered evidence in that the group would test the explosives in the desert. And we're going to show footage of that here in a second.
Wow, this is crazy.
We learned
dude.
that the alleged co-conspirators had recently started acquiring precursor chemicals and other items necessary to accomplish this task. In recent days, the alleged co-conspirators discussed plans to travel to the desert on the 12th to detonate the explosives. Knowing this, the FBI's JTTF and the FBI Los Angeles field office staged multiple SWAT teams, special agent bomb technicians, our evidence response team, along with the FBI's elite hostage rescue team, in the desert to disrupt this plan before any harm could occur. Because of this, we were able to disrupt their plan. All 4 group members were taken into custody without incident. The TILF Instagram account publicly posts content that advocates for violence against United States officials. A recent post called for a revolution and asked for supporters to organize and be ready. The FBI, as you have seen here, can also organize and be ready. We could not have accomplished these arrests without the exceptional assistance from our partners on the Joint Terrorism Task Force. I specifically want to thank the following agencies, as you see up here today: the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Palm Springs Police Department, along with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. I also want to recognize the following FBI field offices as this investigation crossed the entire country: the New Orleans Division, the Buffalo Division, Indianapolis Division, and the Boston Division, who, as you all know, have had their hands full this weekend. In fact, an additional was arrest by our partners at FBI New Orleans in support of this investigation. I will now turn it over to the Los Angeles Police Chief, Jim McDonald.
Well, thank you, and good morning, and we appreciate you being here today. Los Angeles Police Department is proud to stand alongside our federal, state, and local partners today to announce the arrest stemming from a coordinated domestic terror plot. The case underscores the persistent threat posed by extremist groups and individuals, as well as the critical need for law enforcement agencies to remain vigilant in protecting our communities. The successful disruption of this plot is a powerful testament to the strength of our unified response, driven by the collaboration and tireless efforts of the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, along with our allied agencies. Together, we have prevented a potential tragedy and reaffirmed our shared commitment to safeguarding our communities. I want to personally thank the dedicated men and women from every agency involved. Their relentless work over the past several days has ensured that those responsible were apprehended swiftly and safely and without harm to our neighborhoods. Thank you. I'm going to call up Sheriff of Los Angeles County, Robert Luna.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here to cover this, what I believe is a very, very important story for our community. This successful operation was a result of quick, proactive investigative work, and I want to emphasize strong collaboration. And ADIC, Akil Davis, mentioned it and gave credit to all the law enforcement here in Southern California. It is better here, it always has been, than anywhere else in the country, and we're very proud to be part of the Joint Terrorism Task Force. For us at the Sheriff's Department, we've been part of it since after 9/11. Their ability to share intelligence across multiple agencies, investigating threats like this one, is second to none anywhere else. The way we coordinate with partner agencies and act quickly was critical to the success of this operation. And like I said before, there's no other area like here in LA County with our partnership that has been here for years with the FBI and LAPD and the other law enforcement agencies around us. Since this threat was uncovered last week, our Sheriff's Task Force officers and intelligence analysts working closely with our law enforcement partners have been working around the clock to verify information, identify targets, and piece together this plot that you've heard described. Their strong investigative efforts, sharp situational awareness, and rapid response ensured that this threat was stopped before it ever had a chance to be carried out. I'm incredibly proud of the professionalism and dedication shown by the men and women who worked tirelessly to bring this threat to an end before it could cause harm to anybody in our community. To our community, I know hearing about these incidents like this can be unsettling, especially in the light of the recent Brown University mass shooting and the Sydney, Australia terrorist attack. But today serves as a powerful reminder that strong collaboration between federal, state, and local law enforcement can prevent violence before it occurs. As we enter the holiday season, a time when families and friends come together across traditions, cultures, and beliefs. This incident is a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and to be prepared at all times. Vigils whose goal is to divide us, to instill fear, and to target the very diversity that makes our country strong. I want to be very clear, what you see here, this investigative work and the follow-up that's been done shows that they will not succeed. Our community's diversity is our strength, and protecting every member of our community is our primary duty. Whether you are celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, or simply gathering with loved ones, you deserve to feel safe. We are committed to ensuring that safety today and every day. We remain dedicated to protecting our entire community through ongoing intelligence gathering and threat assessments, strengthening partnerships across all of our agencies, engaging with the public to promote awareness, vigilance, and resilience. And finally, I encourage everyone to stay alert, trust your instincts, and report suspicious activity. And as we always say in law enforcement, if you see something, read something, or say something, your awareness, your eyes, and ears can help us protect the entire community, as we did in this incident. I will now introduce the police chief of the Palm Springs Police Department, Andy Mills.
Well, good morning, and first of all, thank you so much, Assistant Director Davis, for the spectacular job that the FBI did on this case. We were just in a very supportive role only, making sure that the FBI had what they needed in the desert to execute their mission. But on a larger perspective, I just want our community to know that this gives me hope. It gives me hope because of the unified effort of all of law enforcement, from the Sheriff's Office to LAPD, San Bernardino Sheriffs, and the FBI, working together to make sure that people like this are removed from the community so they can be prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney's Office, to make sure that all of us can live in peace. And this is what our mission is to make sure that there's hope in all of our communities. So thank you very much for the spectacular job that the A-team showed up and did.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that obviously there's some disagreements amongst our agencies over things like immigration enforcement, but when it comes to other areas of law enforcement where it matters to keep the public safe, whether that's protecting the girls on Figueroa Street or the Palm Springs investigation, there is no gap in the cooperation between the federal government and local government, and we do thank the sheriff, the police chiefs, for your valuable assistance. It would be very difficult for us to do a lot of what we do without their assistance, so I do want to thank you, each and every one of you. With that, we'll open it up to a few questions. Oh, we're going to play the video. All right, play the video. And this is, the video is, do you want to describe the video?
Yeah, I'll describe the video. So, as I mentioned in my talking points, on December 12th, a group of individuals, again, members of this anti-government group, traveled out to the desert to test their explosive devices. They had precursor chemicals there, and they were going to create these bombs in the desert. What they are starting to do is put their chemicals and wares and the components out on the table there. This footage that you're watching is from our surveillance plane, and then what happened after this is the Los Angeles FBI SWAT team, along with the FBI's hostage rescue team, moved in and arrested all 4 subjects without incident.
So now we'll take some questions. Yeah, we're not naming the victim companies, but I'll generally describe them as logistics centers. You can think of like Amazon-type logistics centers, but we're not naming the specific companies at this time.
Can you elaborate on the locations?
There were at least 5 locations that they intended to target within Orange County and Los Angeles County. Again, we're not giving out the specific sites, but they were willing and wanting to do more if they could recruit more members to their radical efforts there.
You mentioned the arrest in New Orleans. Do you think that there are other people involved, or do you think some other locations?
There are definitely more members to this group. As far as who was specifically involved in this New Year's Eve terror plot, we believe we've arrested all the members who were specifically involved in that particular plot. We did execute search warrants to people who are also part of this group. As we review that evidence, if we determine that there are any other individuals who knew about this or provided any assistance, we will obviously be charging them as well. Person arrested in Louisiana is not directly tied to this incident, but he is a member of this group. And when they executed the search warrant out there, he posed a great threat to the agents. He threatened the agents, and so that's why he's under arrest.
Do you believe what would have happened on New Year's Eve, or do you think there could be others that are still planning to go forward in something?
Well, obviously, the FBI has a very robust national security investigators. They look out for domestic terrorism as well as international terrorism. You want to talk more about your activities with the Joint Terrorism Task Force?
So this investigation is ongoing, as the United States just stated. Members of this group or associates of this group or any collaborators in this group, we are looking at as a result of this investigation. To answer your question, we do believe that we have disrupted this plot for New Year's Eve, but like I said, the investigation is ongoing.
As far as we're always looking. We're always looking for other people who might be plotting or doing this. And let this be a warning. If you can avoid being detected by the FBI or the federal government, if you think you're going to be able to design one of these plots, think again. We have very sophisticated, experienced agents, and we will find you, and we will infiltrate you, and we will arrest you, as we did with this group. They didn't see it coming, and each and every one of them is right now in custody. So we're very proud of the work done by the agents. Yes, any other questions?
The names are done, the operations are done. What's the relationship?
I'm
The name of the operation.
Yeah,
Oh.
just the name.
It's just a name.
Looks like one of the names is listed from the people who were arrested. Are you able to find that out?
Yeah, why is that name off? I think that was a. That's Page. Zachary Aaron Page, 32. Okay. Any other questions? Did you want it? Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. It's Captain Mike Lamp, the Media Relations Division. As I discussed earlier with you guys, the chief has agreed to give you an update on the tragedy at the Reiner family home. Just understand this is based on some updates of the tireless work of our investigators from last night and through tonight. We're still at the very early stage of this investigation, but again, Chief's prepared to answer any questions and give you a brief update. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain Bland. As he said, the information at this stage is still limited, but I'll share what we can. First of all, our hearts go out to the family and friends of the Reiners, a tragic incident. Yesterday at December 14th, about 3:40 in the afternoon, LAPD responded to a residence, the residence of Rob and Michele Reiner, located in West Los Angeles Division. At that location, they found two deceased adults, a male and a female. Through the night, working with the coroner's office, they were able to identify them definitively as Rob and Michele Reiner. We have our robbery homicide division handling the investigation. They worked throughout the night on this case and were able to take into custody Nick Reiner, a suspect.
Son was taken into
in
custody,
this case.
yeah.
He was subsequently booked
Son.
for murder and is being held on $4 million bail. Pretty
$4
much
million.
that's what I can share
Wow.
at this point. But again, a very, very tragic incident.
Can you talk about, I know Jesse Hamilton talked about the search warrant and closing out one on the inside. Can you talk about where that played a role in this and what you guys needed to enact?
Yeah, you know, we use search warrants to be able to further our investigation, as you know, on all of these cases. I wouldn't be in a position to talk specifically about what the object of the search warrant was, but it's a critical piece of our investigations to be able to ensure down the road a prosecution. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, everybody.
So that's I guess that's the update with this bomb plot that was foiled.
I passed it on. We heard that they called, and I passed it on to you.
Will they be making impact statements?
The judge, they're working with the trial team to schedule impact statements. I can't tell you what form they're going to come in, but the opportunity has been extended, and I expect we will hear something, and they're working on that now.
What do you think actually for sentencing?
Excuse me?
For sentencing?
Well, there's a mandatory sentence of life, so, but there are other issues. They also developed other charges, as many of you have now heard, that there was a plea earlier to other charges, so that's being worked on. So you'll hear from the lawyers at the time of sentencing.
What do you think
actually
after the
What do you think
trial?
actually brought this to guilty? You have no body, circumstantial evidence. What do you think was the strongest part of the case that convinced the jury this was guilty?
I don't think there's any one thing.
I wonder what case they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Hey, Angels, it's Campbell.
So let's talk about Rob Reiner. We covered it last night. Rob and his wife found deceased in their home.
I haven't heard about President.
And they're saying the son has been arrested. Let me go over some of the information that I have here about the son. Little spoiled brat. Killed his parents. According to TMZ, their throats were slit. Rob and Michele had their throats slit by a family member, possibly after an argument in their Los Angeles home, leading to their tragic deaths. It's unclear what exactly triggered the violence, which went down on Sunday afternoon in Brentwood. But we're told one of Rob's daughters found her parents dead and told the family member had killed them. Nick is being questioned. Our sources say the daughter told police the family member should be a suspect because they're dangerous. Wow.
Closely units here, ambulance TB is now fire department requesting a backup. Now code 3 incident 2586 NRD 825. What's the later handle identified?
Found with their throats slit. And then there was this page 6 article about the son, Rob Reiner's son, Nick, his drug addiction battle for years before stabbing his parents. He said here that he was homeless in Maine. I was homeless in New Jersey. I was homeless in Texas. Nick was first sent to rehab at the age of 15, told People in 2016. So a troubled kid. I spent nights on the streets. I spent weeks on the street. It was not fun. Nick became homeless and was in and out of shelters after he refused to go back to rehab for his drug addiction. Wow. If I wanted to do it my way and not go to programs they were suggesting, then I had to be homeless. So I guess his parents gave him an ultimatum: get help or get out, which is reasonable. About his Nick, who co-wrote a semi-autobiographical autobiographical film called Being Charlie. He wrote, I guess, about his 17 visits to rehab. That may be who I am now. Ungrateful brat. Piece of shit. Killed his parents, slit their throats. I guess they're saying they had an argument on Sunday. Wow. These kids will kill you. I've been saying it. These kids will kill you. Right now, this video is in front of the house, I guess, outside of the property. Reiner, 78, and Michele, 68, allegedly had their throats slit after a heated argument turned deadly at their $13.5 million mansion. Wow. They suffered lacerations consistent with a knife attack. Crazy, man. So a lot of people have reacted to this. Gavin Newsom apparently said Rob was the big-hearted genius behind so many classic stories we love, with projects as wide-ranging as The Princess Bride to A Few Good Men. His boundless empathy made his stories timeless, teaching generations how to see goodness and righteousness in others and encouraging us to dream big. That empathy extended well beyond his films. Rob was a passionate advocate for children and civil rights, from taking on big tobacco to fighting for marriage equality to serving as a powerful voice in early education. He made California a better place through his good works. Wow. These kids will kill you. James Wood made some comments too. I saw Obama made some comments. Crazy, man. These kids will kill you. Ungrateful, spoiled little brat, useless brat that did nothing with his life, and he had everything handed to him, potentially, and did nothing with his life. Little spoiled brat. He's being held on a $4 million bond. Wow. And this bombing plot too is pretty crazy. This had 4 people arrested. New Year's Eve bombing plot. Seems like the FBI is actually doing some work now instead of just letting shit happen. Instead of just saying they were on our radar. Trump made a comment about Rob Reiner. Let's read that. Trump here said, a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob, a tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife Michele, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. Holy crap. Sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michele rest in peace. Holy crap. Kind of a low blow. There's no need for this kind of hate, as Christians were called to do better than this. Yeah, no, it's really unfortunate. I don't care about his political whatever. You know, little spoiled brat kid killed him and the wife. Let's see, what else? Anything else?
Let's be real here. This is a little much.
Like everybody else.
This is not great. So Trump came out and made a tweet after Rob Reiner was murdered with his wife by his son, and while everything in here is 100% true, it's so fucking insensitive. Now, if you haven't heard, Rob Reiner, Wolf of Wall Street, All in the Family, he was murdered by his son, and his wife was murdered by their son, brutally. And yeah, that's what Trump was talking about. I mean, hold on here. this is how the left is reacting, right? So, also, not good, right? Trump next. Trump next, please. Trump next. Trump next, please. Oh my God, Trump next. Two things can be true at the same time, right? The left is fucking evil, and Trump is insensitive. But those are not the same thing. Those are not the same thing. Let's be real, okay? We have been beaten down by these fucking psychopaths for years. Trump was almost assassinated twice. And if he's a little insensitive when somebody who absolutely fucking hated him, right, I can understand why he would feel the need to make that tweet. I don't understand this, right? I don't, right? So, I don't know, maybe if y'all want on the left, like if y'all want Trump to stop being such a cunt, maybe don't be fucking demons.
Don't be demons.
First heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk, what was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror, absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to.
Oh, they're saying the Trump comment. Thank you for the 5, Wendy. Read this. Trump comment isn't real per Grok. Really? I saw, was it Forbes or somebody, a video covering it. Was it Forbes? The Trump comment. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me put on Alex Jones, and I'll look into the comment. Alex Jones has something to say about this.
Well, I woke up this morning to the sad news that Rob Reiner and his wife were found dead under suspicious circumstances. It's a murder investigation in California. Rob Reiner took it upon himself to really cheerlead for me to be taken off the air, to be banned on the internet, and he celebrated it. And I always found that particularly hurtful because growing up, I liked Archie Bunker, Meathead. I liked basically all the movies he was in. And I'm not even that big of a movie fan. I liked all the movies he directed and thought the guy was genuinely funny. And he was great in Wolf of Wall Street. And so you're a fan of somebody and they're lying about you or you're buying into the lies about you. And just an incredible Trump derangement syndrome. And there's plenty to criticize about Trump, but with Reiner, it was just hysterical. He said he was going to check himself into a mental institution when Trump won back in November. So it just sucks. But I got to tell you, so many of those Hollywood people, they just, even though they're smart in ways, they grow up in that bubble and they really can't think outside of it. Because I know a lot of those people, never met Reiner, but I've experienced it firsthand with, some of those same actors in that same area, where they mean really well and they understand a lot of issues, but when it comes to Republicans, they just think they're the devil absolutely. And I guess I can see how they saw that because decades ago, in a way, Republicans were worse than Democrats when it came to war and the police state, things like that, and civil liberties. But now it's the Democrats that are world champions of war and censorship and control and dirty tricks and sticking the FBI and DOJ on me and show trials and all this stuff. So you guys need to look in the mirror and realize that Hollywood's collapsing, your whole system's collapsing, and just doubling down on the dying establishment is not good. But to Rob Reiner and for his wife who also died, and to their whole family, I wish you my condolences, and I pray that you're in a better place. And I just hope that we can remember the good things about Mr. Reiner, who was obviously very talented, and not dwell on some of the things that he did that hurt people that, quite frankly, didn't deserve it. But I'm sad to hear you're gone. And
That's really respectable what Alex Jones said there. The post from Trump, it seems to me like it's real. It's everywhere. It's all over the place online. Apparently, it's been reported across multiple news outlets: Variety, NPR, Politico, The Hill, Daily Beast, Hollywood Reporter, USA Today, People, Newsweek, CNN. And he's catching some heat for it. How would I do this shit? I guess it's on his Truth Social app. Damn. Yeah, Trump taking shots. Trump took shots at him. Let me see what else they're saying about this whole situation. Billy Crystal, emotional. Thomas Massey made a post about Trump's post. He said here, regardless of how you felt about Rob Reiner, this is inappropriate and disrespectful discourse about a man who was brutally murdered. I guess my elected GOP colleagues and VP and White House staff will just ignore it because they're afraid. I challenge anyone to defend it. Crazy. But really unfortunate story. And I'm not surprised that this little brat kid is the one behind this. And the other thing, too, which is just kind of strange, man, is the whole thing about this mass shooter at Brown University. He's not even caught. He's not even caught. And the person of interest was let go and released. What the heck? So where is the shooter? And who is the shooter? Wow.
Well, I mean, listen, people have their favorites. They, and we.
For me, it's not hard to reveal that stuff. It's only hard to reveal that stuff to then get told you're a spoiled white rich kid, and it's like,
you're a little spoiled brat.
Okay, maybe all these things.
Well, who would say that to you? Not your dad.
No, but
world.
The world, Listen, I had to talk to him about this. Listen, I know what it's like to be the son of.
Yeah.
And to have people assume certain things about you, and it's very, very difficult.
Well, how did you handle that?
Well, I mean,
obviously you didn't go to drugs, but you must have had those issues. Your father's an icon.
In the 60s, there was plenty of drugs around.
Yeah.
But you just have to know what you do, and that you have to block out all that extraneous noise. And it's hard for him because this is the first time. He's, all of a sudden, there's a lot of attention. People are talking.
Yeah.
And, he has the double whammy. He's got me and he got his grandfather, and they're going to say whatever the heck they want. But they don't know. They don't know what he's experienced. They don't know what he's gone through.
Yeah.
They don't know why he's done what he does. And, and it's pretty dumb, pretty ignorant of people to say just because you're born and you have money and that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
People have their own issues.
Human beings
regardless.
are complicated, messed up.
And also, it's like the Kardashians can go shopping and complain about how there's no air conditioning in the fucking store, and no one bashes them.
Yeah.
It's like I wrote a movie about doing drugs and having a hard time, and people still,
People
they
have
a
really
field
said
day.
stuff about that?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's insane to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to keep yourself focused and know
Whatever.
what you do.
Yeah.
Know what you do. This is what we set out to do.
Right.
And I told him, while we were making the movie, I said, I don't care what happens. I don't care if, they don't even see the movie. Nobody wants to see. I said, we're winning. We are winning.
Yeah.
Because we're throwing ourselves into our work.
Yeah.
And good things are coming out of it.
Absolutely.
And hopefully
To kill the people that brought you into this world. Tim Pool actually, I guess, reacted to this. Let's see what he had to say here.
And it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, that the memorial they had, was exactly right. And totally, I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful, and absolutely, when she forgave his assassin. And I think that is admirable.
That is, he's saying kind words of Erica Kirk.
You first.
And, man, it's sad. This wasn't a political killing, and I certainly disagree with the man, but this is what America is supposed to be like. It's supposed to be that we disagree. We have to disagree. The disagreement is how we actually solve the problems. If we all just agreed on everything, we'd all walk off a cliff like lemmings. Except Disney faked that, apparently. But you get the point. We'd all be jumping off bridges and just saying, like, look, everything, we have to disagree. The question is, to what extent are we going to disagree? Are we going to disagree to the point where we're beating each other, where people are getting stabbed or shot, and it's getting this crazy? People have certainly lost their minds. And I believe the internet is largely responsible for it. People are isolating into deep bubble pockets in the far corners of the internet. They're believing insane things for insane reasons. People are making AI videos. We just had a shooting in Australia, and people are making AI photographs so it looks like it was staged. And then they're presenting it as it's very clever. Actually, it's very clever. There's a photo of one of the victims, and they AI generated him getting makeup put on while he's laughing, and then they claimed, "Whoa, something like this isn't even AI." Because they're intentionally trying to manipulate, to sow chaos and discord. There is evil out there. Now, it appears, based on the reporting, that Rob Reiner was killed by his son. This doesn't appear to be political. It appears to be another case of just familial violence, domestic violence, whatever you want to call it. But nonetheless, Rob Reiner had kind words to say for Erica, and he had kind words to say for Charlie amid his assassination. And I hope, we can get back to that point where we disagree, but we get along. It's crazy how insane things.
We'll know them by the fruits of their labors. Rob Reiner was an angry, vile man. He shouldn't have been killed by his son, though. That wasn't right. But it shows you what happens when you're raised in that environment, when anything that you want is okay. That you can justify anything, and mommy and daddy tell you that you're not going to get the inheritance that you thought you were going to get, and, well, that's what happens. That's the liberal mentality. They lived and died by exactly how they lived. Now, the fact that I'm pointing that out doesn't make me somebody that, oh, you're disrespecting him. I have no respect for Rob Reiner. He was a vile pig. Did I mention that at the beginning? But I did not wish death upon him or his wife, or that his family be destroyed this way. No, I didn't have to. Liberal ideology did all the work for me.
You're watching The Kramer Set.
Liberal ideology. Well, his parents stood up and told him, you got to get the hell out of here or get some help. And he chose to not get help and, I guess, be on drugs. Donald Trump. A lot of the media is talking about this. They're saying that Donald Trump launched an extraordinary attack on the film director.
Breaking news about the death of the actor Rob Reiner and his wife Michele, who were found dead in their Los Angeles home overnight. We've had quite an extraordinary statement from President Trump about this. We know that Rob Reiner was a supporter of the Democrats, but Trump has put on his Truth Social. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife Michele, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michele rest in peace! Exclamation mark. So some people would say possibly quite tasteless message from Donald Trump there, following the revelation that the director Rob Reiner and his wife Michele were found dead in their home. Investigators say that they suffered stab wounds. A family member is being questioned.
We are being tested right now as to whether or not 241 years of self-rule will emerge. We are on the track to destroying what we've had for 243 years. Democracy depends on it, and whether or not we sustain the 244 years of self-rule. 246 years we're coming up on, the longest democracy in the world, and it's hanging by a thread. Do we want fascism, or do we want to continue the 240?
Okay, I got enough of that. Yeah, let me see if there's anything else. By the way, Brian Walsh was found guilty. I think that was just now or today, a little bit ago. Brian Walsh guilty of murdering his wife, Anna. Guilty of murdering her. Not surprising. There was a lot of evidence on that. A lot of evidence on this guy. Another POS. So, quick on anything else? Let's see what else they're saying about Rob. Ooh. Okay, Marjorie Greene Taylor kind of called out Trump a little bit with his post about Rob. Where are you? She says Rob and his wife were tragically killed at the hands of their own son, who reportedly had a drug addiction and other issues, and the remaining children are left in serious mourning and heartbreak. This is a family tragedy, not about politics or political enemies. Many families deal with a member with drug addiction and mental health issues. It's incredibly difficult and should be met with empathy, especially when it ends in murder. Oh my God. Posts are crazy. Let's see, anything else? Okay, that might be it for now then, guys. I just want to kind of tap in a little bit, update both stories. And yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for now. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day. We'll see what pops up later, if anything. I'll be around. And yeah, all right. Take care, guys. Be safe. Peace. And yeah, the Brown University shooter is still out there. So whenever that happens, whenever that person's caught, we'll definitely jump on and cover it.